Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which did come out digitally on Tuesday, and I think in a couple of weeks it'll be coming out on DVD/Blu-ray. So let's start talking about this movie, and with all my movie reviews, usually I do a non-spoiler portion and a spoiler portion, so I'll warn you guys when spoilers come. Now, what is this movie about? Just like any other Suicide Squad movie, it's about Amanda Waller getting her rat pack of villains to do something for her. And that's exactly what happens in this movie without spoiling anything. And we get to see characters like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, which now become like staples for the Suicide Squad. But other characters as well, like Scandal Savage and Killer Frost. So mixing it up a bit with this movie. Now, what did I think of the movie overall? Animation, for me, I like the actual character designs. I think have been pretty solid, but I feel like with every movie, the budget, or really maybe the speed of what they're doing these movies and creating these movies, maybe they're rushing them? I don't know, but I feel like the animation hasn't been as strong in the last couple of years. I feel like every movie there's less and less detail, especially with the backgrounds and the movement. Some of it feels sluggish and not totally CGI'd. I don't know. I don't love the animation there, except for the characters. But even some of the beats with the humor and the emotions don't completely do it for me. I'm like, oh, it's not really matching the voices of the emotion, and that just goes to the animation of, again, I feel like them kind of rushing the animation here. So, it could be worse, I guess. I like the style of the animation, but I wish they took more time in doing it and really, getting those emotional beats correctly, and just some of the movement stuff. But I will say I like the action here. It's a very gory film, so one of the more gory films, and they've been doing more mature storylines in recent years as well for these DC animated movies, so I'm not surprised by that. But since it's Suicide Squad, there's a lot of death, so we do get to see that. But for some reason, I know obviously this is a big action movie trope, but there's this long scene of our main characters getting shot at, and in my mind I'm like, how are they not getting shot at this point? It seemed like they were purposely missing, and maybe because the scene was just so long of them being shot at. And again, I know this is a cliche for action films, but for some reason in this movie in particular that bothered me because of how long that scene was, and it didn't even feel like our main characters were trying to hide. They're just like, I'm here, why are you not shooting me? And there's one character it makes sense why they wouldn't shoot and I won't go into it because that goes into spoiler territory, but all the other characters should have died at that point. They definitely save, I would say, the deaths, and obviously there's death because of the suicide, it's called Suicide Squad. They save more of them for the ending, and they have one chunk in the beginning. But yeah, so that's what I thought about the action. The story, I thought the story was better than what we've been getting with the DC animated movies. Definitely far from perfect, or even me being engrossed in a film. I can't really say that, and that's been a big problem with the DC animated films for me lately. I don't feel like, I feel like I'm always like looking at the time saying, so when is this over? And I shouldn't feel that way with a movie, especially something that is a superhero film or DC Comics or a Marvel film. I shouldn't be like, alright, so when is this over? I felt this less with this movie though. I felt like I wasn't checking the time as much, but still doing so. I can't say I was fully engrossed in the film because the plot is pretty by the numbers, and the characters are kind of by the numbers as well. But I will say the plot and characters are more developed than what we've been seeing previously with these films, so that is a positive. And characters I really liked, obviously Deadshot gets a good view, and I really liked Knockout and Scandal, even though they did not have as much screen time as I think they deserved. I really liked seeing them, and I think they actually have one of the more fully fleshed out plot lines with this movie. So overall, I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. I did have fun with it, and I like the action, and it's kind of what you expect with the Suicide Squad movies. So if that's something you want to watch, definitely go check this out. And again, it's one of the more interesting, better movies in recent years for DC Animation, just like the original Suicide Squad movie, which I do feel was a lot better though. The plot, there's a lot more plot in that Suicide Squad movie compared to this one. Now going into spoilers here, if you've seen the movie, I'm gonna dig into it a little bit more. I guess I want to mention Harley Quinn, because I expected her to be more than just a comedic relief here, even though I think ironically, Killer Frost kind of lands the comedic timing with Harley, because you get to see Harley as, obviously, she's just spurting out jokes, and she has a couple of good jokes, but then you have Killer Frost as the straight man, and that made the joke land, so I like their dynamic a lot, and especially like one or two jokes really landed and I actually laughed out loud. But I expected a little bit more from Harley just because she's been the face of Suicide Squad and just like these villains for the past couple of years, and that original film was definitely more about her, so I was surprised that this is more of Deadshot's film. I didn't expect that. But I did like Deadshot, I liked his motives, I liked that we got a little bit with him and his daughter, I thought that was good, and again, I really like Knockout and Scandal, and their storyline and her interactions with her father I thought was really interesting. I just wanted more of that. Like, I would have enjoyed the movie even more if it was like about them, because I really like their story. And then the whole Dr. Fate stripper thing was a little weird. I get why you needed it because of the Hell card. That's kind of the point of the movie, which was semi-interesting plot device. But yeah, that whole thing I think could have been cut in half. I was just like, alright, so where are you going with this? And then going into the Hell card, which is my problem, I guess positive and negative with this film, because I thought it was an interesting plot device to use for us to stay with the whole entire plot. Say, alright, let's see who gets the Hell card, let's see who doesn't. I thought it was a unique premise, but at the same time, I kind of wish this movie delved into more spiritual aspects, because are these villains religious? Do they care about going to heaven or hell? Like, I felt like it was weird that every single villain, like, was super religious and wanted to go to heaven. Like, I just don't believe that these characters would feel that way. So I guess you have to have a little bit of a suspension of disbelief with this plot line, and that's something I was questioning throughout the film. Like, do they even care? Do they believe in the afterlife? I don't know. So I was a little hesitant on that story plot. But like I said with my non-spoiler review, I think this one's worth watching. I think there's a bit more character development here. Definitely at least more interesting character motives with Deadshot. Especially, I like Bronze Tiger, even though I felt like it was really rushed the way they just became kind of friends in the end. So he was like, alright, you keep the card. But I did like that one line where it kind of fixes it, where Deadshot's like, well, I just didn't want Amanda Waller to have it, so I don't really care. But at the same time, I feel like he would have saved it for himself. I don't know. So it's kind of weird how they kind of forgive each other in the end. But overall, gonna give this movie 3.5 stars. If you want a more in-depth look at this movie, we will be doing a Media Madness on this, I believe, not this coming week, but next week, so when the DVD comes out. And I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter what day and time I'll have that for. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.